And welcome back to another episode of the Carolina Otaku Podcast. I am Afro, and I'm here with my co-host,
Lexi.
Yeah. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. I know a lot of people probably have a lot of questions about Lexi's trip to Dreamville, and also about the new series, Fallout. So now that I gave you that brief of what this episode is going to be about, let's get into this shit. All right. So, how we start out every episode. Lexi, what have you been up to?
Like he said, I went to Dreamville like 2 weeks ago. A good time, like a really great time. Besides that, nothing much really about working. And then I have a wedding I'm going to in like 2 weeks. I'm getting ready for that. And then also getting ready for a vacation I'm taking next month. So, yeah.
Oh, aren't you lucky? No, that's cool. That's dope on the wedding. Is it, do you have to travel for it?
Not that far. I gotta go to Georgia. So,
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. What have I been up to? Really nothing. Nothing really new since last time. Starting to get warmer. I went to Home Depot this morning because I wanted to buy a angle grinder.
what?
Yeah.
What?
Angle grinder.
What the fuck is that?
It's like a joint. It's a joint that has like a handle and you can like grind through like metal with it or cut through metal with it and shit like that. I'm doing some modifications to the smoker. I found a welder who I'm gonna take it to on Friday. And he's gonna fix it up.
I tell you guys every time this man has a million and one fucking hobbies. Like the jack of all trades, know how to do it all.
Yeah, but I was driving and it was like still dark outside. First thing is I have to get my eyes checked again because I know I have to buy yellow lenses because the lights on cars now really big time.
Yeah, I have to get the UV blocking too because of that. I have a
Yeah, I definitely got to do that. And also when I tell you that spring is here. If you don't know, now you know. I got allergies like a motherfucker. And I went out to cut my grass. And I tell you, I didn't wear anything over my nose, over my face, or nothing. And that was bad. Because when I got done, I was so fucking congested. It was crazy. This might be kind of graphic, but I blew my nose and that shit was insane.
Okay.
It was crazy. If you have allergies, get your meds, or if you're doing something outside, cover up because the pollen looks like a big ass green blanket right now.
Yeah.
Also, cicadas are coming. If you didn't know,
they're coming.
Cicadas
They're coming.
Cicadas are coming. They're saying they coming out the ground and they coming, y'all. If they coming, just know before you walk into your house, check yourself. To this would probably know they're old enough. If you were around before, they don't do nothing, but you know, they'll be everywhere. So be prepared for that. But anyway, I was driving to Home Depot and I have LED lights on my truck. And when I tell you these bugs were literally Jeff Hardy into my windshield, it was crazy. I was driving, I say like 45 miles per hour, back roads, driving, and these things are just like, literally exploding on my windshield, right? I'm so happy I bought 3 bottles of windshield wiper fluid because I'm gonna have to refill soon again, right? So I was just like, I got out my car and I looked at the front of my car, and when I tell you all of the different types of bugs that were in my headlights, on my front windshield, just the whole front of the car just looks like a frog's banquet. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Ew.
Ridiculous. They were just coming in like bullets. Remember in A Bug's Life when I think it was like the first scene when the bug was like, "Oh, it's so pretty," and the dude is like, "Gary, no." And he just dies.
Oh, shit.
Like
Yeah.
that's what the LED lights are doing with these bugs, and they come out of it, and by the time they come out of it, splat, and it's just gone. So that was interesting. That was crazy. But really, nothing else new from my side. Yeah.
Oh, like you didn't get to see me?
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, you got to meet my sister too. Got to see Lexi. She came up for breakfast, and it was cool. It was nice. It was actually a really nice day. That was actually, I tell you what, when Dreamville happened, that was actually a really good weather. That was really good weather for that weekend. I mean, yes, it was hot.
No, hot, hot.
Was it?
No, it was fucking freezing cold. It wasn't freezing cold, but like
Yeah, it
during the
was.
day, it was cold. And then I'm outside with fishnets and a short ass skirt on, and then the sun goes down. Oh, I froze my ass off. Yeah,
Well,
don't say it was nice because it wasn't.
so while she was at the festival, I kept up with her, make sure she was good and everything. Texting her like, "Hey, you good? You good?" And then she went silent on me. I don't know why.
You do know why.
I know why, and you're gonna tell. So what we're gonna do now? This is a good segue into Lexi. How was Dreamville? How was the? I have a couple questions, but just overall, how was the festival?
So the festival was really good. I'll give it like probably like an 8 out of 10 rating wise. So if you guys don't know, Dreamville is a big festival that J. Cole puts on in Raleigh every year for 2 days. And so I don't live that far. I'm like 4 hours out. So I know like I never been, but I wanted to go. I've never been to a festival. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna tell you guys now, if you guys want to go, please bring some like walking shoes because the walk from parking to the field is a mile. It is not like a little like, oh, you're walking on flat land. No, you got some hills and stuff. So you're taking a little bit of a hike to get to the field. So
Yep.
that's one thing. And so I had varsity passes. So that means I was like in the VIP. So when I got there, the line to get in wasn't long compared to like general admissions or GA plus. They had a like line. Like all they did was like search your bag or whatever. And if you do go, make sure you have like well, if it's a small bag, doesn't have to be clear, but if it's like a big book bag, it has to be clear. So make sure that's done. And then don't bring any drinks, don't bring any outside food. Yeah.
You couldn't bring water?
Like you cannot bring any liquids.
Oh
You had to bring like you could bring like a bottle
yeah.
and you can refill it. Like they had water stations, but you couldn't bring any
Wow.
liquid in. Because like that Sunday I went, the guy that was like patting us down or whatever, he was like, "Oh yeah, I just had to confiscate like 6 like White Claws," and then he was like, "My girl over there, she had to like confiscate like some tequila and like so like any kind of liquids, don't bring it in." Get in.
Great.
So like after that, that was pretty smooth. And then you just like walk in, it's like a big field. You see like vendors on like this side and that side of the field. And then there's 2 stages like here and here. And so when I got there, I just got like Sexy Red had just started like her set. So I stayed there and like listened to her do her set. I'm sorry if y'all a Sexy Red fan. She has no stage presence, like none, zilch.
Are
You
you
know,
surprised?
no, I'm not. I'm just some people are like if you've been to a concert, like SZA has really good stage presence. Beyonce, awesome stage presence. The Weekend, like there's very few concerts that I've gone to that have like 0 stage presence. She's one of them. So, yeah. So after that, I met up with some friends, and then we gotta like get food. Food line, that shit is long, like super long. But luckily, where we went, and there was like nobody really there, so it didn't take that long. But like that Sunday, it was literally like an hour wait to get food, depending on where you went. So yeah. Also, phone reception, you could do maybe a text, maybe a call, but no data. Like I have T-Mobile and I have a work phone that also has T-Mobile. This phone had no data whatsoever, but for some reason my work phone data worked just fine. I don't know. But it was slow, but it worked. So that's another thing too. If you go, bring a blanket because like that Sunday, a friend I met up with, him and his friend did not have a blanket, so they were just sitting on the ground until I got there. And I was like, "Do you guys wanna sit on my blanket?
Yeah.
Because why are you sitting on the ground? Like, bring a blanket." Also bring, like, sunscreen, like
Yes, black people need sunscreen, y'all. Let's
Yes, we
let's
do need
let's cut the bullshit. We need sunscreen.
we do. So bring that. Bring like, if you're a girl, bring like your wipes or whatever you need. One thing that saved me was I brought like heating patches. Like I had like I don't know, Midol makes like these little heart-shaped heating patches that saved me both times. It was so cold when the sun went down. And like I said, that first day I literally was like wearing fishnets, a skirt, I had on a shirt, and then I had on like my Adidas coat that I took with me, and I was still freezing. So I like literally had to put like the patch on like my stomach and like yeah. But anyways, back to Saturday. So after we got food, I forgot who played next. Okay, after we got food, it was really close to like Schoolboy Q. I love Schoolboy Q, so we went to see him.
How was his performing?
It was awesome. Like I guess because like I was really close to him. Like I mean like to the point where I can see his tattoos and shit. And so like this is another reason. If you ever go, please get varsity, like get some kind of VIP because we have a separate entrance and it's like really close to the stage.
Mm.
So you can see everybody really close and whatever. So his set was awesome. Like these two little like young like kids were like standing beside me and I guess they didn't know who he really was. So they wasn't singing any of the songs. But me and my friend, like we were hyped. We were just like singing and like yeah, it was really good. So after that, I had to go get like VIP merch and then that took a while. Oh, another thing, if you have a chase card, put it on your wristband before you even go because they have like a fast lane for people who have chase. It doesn't really work where I was, but like if you're out in like the general area, it does work because not a lot of people are there have chase. So you get stuff a lot quicker. And then who played after that? I went to see. So I miss Little Yachi's like his whole entire set. I miss that. I'm so sad. Who else played? I think I miss Jed. I miss a lot of people that day, but like oh, I miss 50. I was kind of like sad about that because like
Yeah.
I was a 50 fan as a kid.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it because I wanted to see SZA. So it was like a choice between going to see him or
Mm.
getting a really good spot for SZA. And,
Yeah.
like, I chose to get that really good spot for SZA, and I kinda
Mhm.
regret that I did, but, like anyways, so I went over like, to her area, and I think I got there, like, 8, but she didn't go on until, like, 9:30, so I was just standing around waiting. So, I was just standing around waiting, and my friend was, like, pointing, and I was like, "Huh?" And then it's like it was one of my favorite TikTokers, like, it's the guy who does like the school like superintendent or worker with like the curly wig or whatever, jingling like the keys or the ice or whatever. Or he'll do like the girl in high school, the typical ones, like, with the Starbucks cup or whatever. Yeah, it was him. And I didn't ask him for like a picture or anything. I just did the whole like and then like I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Did he go? Did your friend like go say, "Hey"?
Yeah, no, like they had a whole like it was him and like a family beside us. So they just had like a whole entire conversation. And
Oh,
I'm, like, trying to get warm because I am, like, freezing cold, and while they were talking, this is what he was talking about. While they were talking or whatever, I was just standing there, like, just moving around, like, trying to, and then I just remember asking my friend for water, and lights were out. Like, I don't know if I didn't pass out, like, I didn't fall out, but, like, my friend said my body went limp, and,
yeah.
like, I was done, and so, like, I lost my spot because of that, because my friend was like, "No, we're leaving," and I was like, "No, Imma see SZA, like, we gonna get I'll at least see, like, a couple of her songs
Mhm.
before I leave," and so we had to move, like, I moved from where we were standing, we were, like, super, super close
Yeah.
to, like, the back where the VIP, like, thing was, so I sat there, put the blanket down, and I waited and be like, whatever. And I think we watched like 4 of her songs and then we left. Oh my god, I don't even know how I made it back to the car that first night, but I luckily made it back to the car. All I remember
Right.
after that is like soon as I got in the car,
Mhm.
out. I was out. I was out. And then when we got back, as soon as I hit the bed, out again. I didn't
Oh,
wake up until like this is why he didn't hear from me. I didn't wake up till like 5, 6 that morning, and then I was up for, like, a little bit, and then I went back to sleep, and so day 2 day 2. So, day 2, I decided, like, I didn't wanna be out there all day because, like, I knew if I was out there all day, I probably was not gonna make it all day.
Mm.
So, I decided to wait. I think I went out there, like, 5 because I just really wanted to see mainly, like, J. Cole, Rema. I wanted to see Nicki, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So, anyways, so
Okay.
my friend was there, like I said, we met up with them, and we just, like, really talked for a bit. We listened to Race Run. We didn't go up to the stage, but we just sat,
Mm.
like, in the field and listened to that or whatever and talked, and then yeah, it was pretty much like a chill day that 2nd day, and then Nikki was supposed to be on at 8, like, 8.
What time she going?
Suspicion going at 9 o'clock. Like, she was an hour late to her own set, and because of that, it pushed back J. Cole's set, and, like, I was gonna get pictures from my boss because she's a J. Cole fan, and,
Mm.
like, I was gonna not J. Cole, excuse me, but Nicki fan, and I was
Mm.
gonna send them to her for brownie points, but, she didn't come on, and I was like, "No, I'm not missing J. Cole," so I left. I was like,
Oh, so it was a
"Okay."
different stage.
Yes, there's 2
Okay.
stages, so you gotta walk back and forth between the 2 stages. So
Uh,
like, everybody, like, when she was like it was, like, 8:30 and she hadn't came on yet, everybody started like, "Alright, we're going to
Time
the"
to go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's time to go. And then over there, when we got there, it's like 8:45, people are, like, starting to, like, scoot in, like, as time goes by, it gets like people are scooting in more and more and more, like, you have less room, but, like, J. Cole's set was pretty dope. And Imma say this now for everybody to be like, "Why did he apologize? That was such a bitch move. Why he apologize?" For me and a lot of people, like, he just realized that that's not him. He did it more out of peer pressure,
Mhm.
and, he's man enough to say that he's sorry for even doing that. Like, y'all need to grow up. That's my spill on it. But yeah, it like most people said I think it was like a minute and 30, but like the whole entire like talk he had about that was like 5 minutes. So yeah, keep that in mind. But other than that, everything else was pretty good, except for going back because I stayed to the whole entire set. So everybody was like
Gone
trying to
at the
get
same
out at
time.
the same time.
Yep.
All trying to get out.
That that J. Cole shit is interesting. Yes, I understand being a grown ass man and falling into peer pressure and all that shit. But also, nigga, come on, let's spice this music shit up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, okay, okay,
honestly,
cool. We have enough, but
a
we have
good
enough people already, like, having beef, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
in
but they're
this
not.
group.
But here's the shit though. They're putting their shit. Oh god, I was about to say they put their shit on wax. It's not wax anymore, but they put their shit on wax though. Like they're like real shit. It's not anything about like two like motherfuckers meeting and killing each other. No, they putting their shit to lyrics. That's totally different. That's all the sport. That's the whole sport. And when you apologize about it, it's like, damn, my nigga, I thought you were an athlete in this shit.
I feel
I can
like
understand. I Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like J. Cole, because he made a comment, he was like, "I don't know how many more of these Dreamvilles I have in me." And he's like, "I'm damn near 40." And so I can see it, like, he's damn near 40. Why is he playing these childish ass games? Like, that ain't him. That's not who he is or whatever. So, y'all gotta give it to the man. He's not like a young player in the game that, like, can entertain that type shit. Like, he said that shit, like, kept him up at night because that's just that fucked with his inner peace. And, like, I'm one of those people that, like, "Nah, you not fucking with my peace." Like, I'm not I gotta have that. So
I get that, but I'm just gonna say this: there's nobody that is younger that is doing the shit that a Kendrick, that a Cole. I mean, people put Drake in there. I'm not a Drake fan, but yeah.
of
But
course
all the
not.
people that like would do battle like through lyrics, they, niggas aren't doing that now. I don't give a fuck what you say. And the funny thing is, when people know it's lyrical and not the physical shit, like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
gonna kill that motherfucker. No, this is just right. Like this is rapping. Like I'm trying to show you why I am a good MC. I'm trying to show you why I'm a good MC. Yes, I have the catalog. Yes, I have my catalog, but don't let this shit fool you. Like, I can throw down when I need to throw the fuck down.
We can hustle.
But when you got all these motherfuckers that are like you said, getting older into their 40s and shit, ain't nobody doing that now. Everybody's on some shit like, some kumbaya shit, to be honest with you, which is cool. That's just the way that it is. You can't, that's just the way that shit goes, So, if it's not kumbaya shit, then it's killing shit. But it's nothing like, it's either far left, far right, like the kumbaya shit, the killing shit. There's not many that are like in this middle shit saying, oh yeah, let's start some like, some artists like real MC shit. We spitting lyrics that actually make sense. One thing is the masses don't want to hear that. The masses don't want to hear that because that shit ain't gonna sell. But there are some people that do. I don't know. It's just a bunch of bullshit. I get it. He doesn't want to, interrupt his piece and all that shit. That's cool. But honestly, I think him apologizing wasn't necessary. I don't think he needed to apologize. I think he just should have left it the way that it was, and it didn't hit. It didn't hit. Some shit just don't hit. That's dope that you had a good time. I was going to ask you, what was you didn't see. I think you said you saw a lot of performances. You said Sexy Red doesn't have the stage performance.
She does that.
Do you think that when it comes, I guess, what is Sexy Red like, different, hip hop and rap and all that stuff has different categories, is its own category, but has different smaller categories within it.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to say, would you put a Sexy Red like, I can't. Oh man, I feel stupid even saying that because she's actually dope. I was gonna say, would you put like a Sexy Red in a category with like Trina, but Trina's actually dope. Trina's dope as fuck though.
Okay. Y'all
You
will
know,
hate me, but
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
no, I wouldn't put her in a Trina category. I will put her in a Kaya category because they
Who?
both Kaya.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh my god. Okay, my neck, my back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know who the fuck that was. That's
Yeah.
all you had to say. You just had to say the song. I didn't know who the fuck that was. Sorry, I didn't know who the fuck that was. That's my bad. So you would put it in that category.
Yeah, if you're talking about like some OG female rappers, like that's the kind of energy she gives. Like, because Kaya was like, she didn't give a fuck. She was gonna say what she wanted to say. Sexy Red the
Yeah.
exact same way. She's gonna say what she want to say. She don't give a
Mhm.
fuck. She's not trying to be like a polished image of like what you see. She's just lit. She's raw.
Yeah.
She's ratchet. So yeah.
Okay. That's what's up though. I'm happy that you had a good time doing that. Would you do it again?
Already planning on going next year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's good though. That's really dope. That's good. That's good. Well, so if you're watching the video, you can see from the background. What is his name?
He doesn't really have a name, and we'll talk about that. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there.
So
I mean,
if
you can
you
call him Vault Boy, but
I would thought it'd be like Pit Boy, but the Pit Boy is just
the wrist.
the wrist
Yeah.
itself. But if you haven't already, there is a new series out called Fallout, and which is based on the game. I took notes on this shit too. Like each episode, I took notes on it. I really did.
Yeah.
So so the series Fallout is actually based on Fallout 4, which came out in 2014.
It's not. It's not.
Yes, it
No.
is. That's
No,
what it
it's
said.
not.
That's what it said.
It's
That's what it
not
said.
based off of 4.
I know these things, Lexi. I saw it on the internet.
It's not based off 4.
What is it based off on?
It's not based off any of the games. It's a combination of like the stories from each of them. Like you have parts
Yeah.
of Fallout 3 that are in there. You have parts of Fallout 4 that are remnants in there, and you
Is
have
this
the
number
Enclave.
76 in there too?
Not so much. I think
Bec-
there's like a sprinkle or 2 in it,
Yeah.
and then like you have Fallout 4 because I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it, but like Codsworth, his voice actor is in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then you
So,
have New Vegas, but I'll get to that in a minute.
but what's crazy is shit. Okay. So we'll just start out from the jump. So we the 3 main characters in this shit is Lucy, who's a vault dweller, Maximus, who's part of the Brotherhood. And honestly, if you go on Amazon and you press pause with the what homie comes up as is the ghoul. That's it.
That's what they call him. That's not
Yeah.
his technical name. He does have an actual name though.
What's his
His
name?
name's Cooper.
Cooper? Okay. Okay.
Cooper Howard, actually. So if you know he Todd Howard, Bethesda,
Man. See, Leslie knows this shit. This is her bag. So
obviously I have the two posters.
this is her bag. So I kind of just want to let's do like the first like 5 eps and then do the last. So first of all, what did you think of the series as a whole?
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like I am every time I talk about it, I always say that like I'm glad that they paid attention to details,
Yeah.
and I'm also glad that like it wasn't like a Netflix adaptation, because I
Oh
feel
my
like if
god.
Netflix would have got it, it would have
Yeah.
been complete and utter garbage, and I would have
Yeah.
been so fucking mad. But Amazon was like, "Okay, well, here you go. Do what you want."
Yep.
And we got the story that we got. So, yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I didn't know that the person that played Lucy was British. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
The person that plays Maximus, I knew he looked familiar, but he looked bigger. He played on a show on Netflix called Disjointed with Kathy Bates in it. He was Kathy Bates' son. If you haven't watched Disjointed, it's actually a
I
really good
haven't
show.
watched it.
It's 2 seasons, and it was actually kind of funny. And the person that played Cooper, what was his name? His last name is Joggins or something like that. That motherfucker is hilarious. You've seen him in a lot of series with Danny McBride, Vice Principals, The Righteous Gemstones. He played in a movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Kurt Russell. And I don't know. It was a Quentin Tarantino movie, I think. But within The Righteous Gemstones, he played.
Oh, he was in the Hateful Eight
Yeah. Yup. He was. Yup. He surely was.
in Django.
Yeah. That
Sorry.
motherfucker, he does the Southern white man very, very well. Like I said, in The Righteous Gemstone, he played Little Baby Billy. That's his name, Little Baby Billy. And in Vice Principal, he played the rival to Danny McBride. So, I mean, the man has a resume that's actually really good. And seeing him in this and kind of seeing him as like on some like real serious shit, not really on the comedy shit like that, I was like,
Mhm.
oh shit, this motherfucker is nice. I think the way that they cast it was actually really well. I actually really enjoyed it. And it was some things that if you play the games, there are some things that you're just like, oh yeah. Yet it you kind of man, I don't want to skip shit. I don't want to go like all over the place, but I think that's kind of just us. So fuck that shit. So with if you play the game, there are some like when they start to find out, like when Lucy's brother starts to actually dig deep and actually figure out like what's
Mhm.
really going on, you realize that even in the game, when you go further into it, each vault and Lexi knows this, I watch like
We
Bethesda
watch.
lore. Like so for Skyrim and Fallout, like I watch the lore of shit. If you want to watch some good shit, like if you just don't have shit to do, you just want to chill and have something in the background that you'll actually watch. What's that nigga's name? Ox?
Oxhorn.
Yeah. Yup. He does really well. And there's another dude too, but
Is it Maddie?
maybe.
Maddie does a lot of them.
But you gotta check those out. They're really good. They're really nicely detailed. They go into the background of it, and it's dope. But when the brother really starts, okay, fuck it. We'll start from because we'll start from the beginning. Like I said, I took notes from this when I first saw. So we come in. I'm kind of gonna just briefly go over it. Maximus is first of all, I hate that he gets bitched.
But that's not the first thing that you see. The first thing that you see, like, soon as it starts is, like, Cooper and
Yeah.
his daughter
Oh
at
yeah.
the
Yeah.
at the party.
Party. Yep.
Yeah, and they
But
see that
here's the thing though. now that I know like what happens and all that shit, when is that's before the vaults, right?
No. So how it worked is that it goes back to 2077 when the bomb dropped. We started the Great War. And so what we're seeing is Vault-Tec had already been in the business of like basically building these vaults because they were commissioned from the government to build these vaults in case something happened. And
Yeah.
Vault-Tec would realize that hey, war is where the money's at.
Oh yeah.
It's the war never changes. And
Yep.
so they were already making these vaults and doing them whatever. And the reason you know they were already doing this is because what you find out later in the series. So
Okay. Because when I looked at it and when he had his daughter with him, but not his wife, I was like, wait a minute. So, because that had me thinking like this had to be like the bomb hit. He picks up his daughter and then he rides the horse and then he goes. And then that's when I think like he goes through the whole like, because they didn't continue that shit. Like they never
mm,
brought that scene back up to show.
I think they're probably going to do that in season 2, which is why they didn't bring
Mm,
so much in season 1. But
yeah. Yeah.
you got to also understand. So, like, I get asked that too. Like, so where was his wife? Where, right? So, like, you got to remember at the party, he was just being a cowboy, and the guy
Right.
that was there, he was like, "Oh yeah, he has alimony to pay. That's why he's doing this gig." So they more likely got a divorce. So at least
Mm.
that's what I'm piecing together. That's what I'm saying so far.
That that makes sense because that makes total sense with the whole So that happens and he goes through that process trying to get his daughter out. My favorite part is when the thumb
It was
shit.
so cute.
Yeah, that shit
Is
was
it
cute as
your
fuck.
thumb?
Yeah, that shit was cute as fuck. And that motherfucker said, "Oh nah," like it just
He
picked
got
her
that.
up.
He had took that horse and boom,
Yeah,
on.
Yup. And I love the way how like the family of that was having the party was like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, my family is the only family going to this bunker. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and fuck you. Get out of here.
It got real quick.
Yeah, that shit changed really, really quick. So then did we go to Maximus or
No, you go
Lucy?
to Lucy next. So we go to
Lucy?
the vault. Yep.
Yeah. So with the vault, and as soon as I saw this shit, I was like, something's got to happen. First of all, you see the vault. They take you through the vault. She's trying to basically promote herself or go in front of the board to like
It was some
what
Hunger
was it
Game
called?
type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, they were gonna hand her off another vault, and then all that shit. Then it was Raiders, right?
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
like, in this part, yeah, she's basically, like, trying to be the one that goes over to the vault to be, like, the breeding partner or
yeah.
whatever, and you guys will understand that later on in the series, but, like, yeah,
She
so
got down quick.
she did. She
She
did.
got down. She got. What did she say? So what's your sperm count?
What?
Bitch, we just met. And plus, I don't know. Right? And she was like, your doctor should have told you this information before. And he said, I don't know. And she got
They were
in there.
doing the do and,
Yeah.
like, fuck.
She said, I'm ready to get down. And that actually comes back up later on too. She's just so blunt. It's hilarious.
She's, like, so naive and,
Yeah.
like, it's I thought I was gonna hate it, but I actually loved it. It was so cute, but, yeah.
Yeah. But kind of the Raiders come in and fuck up. I
Everything.
mean, they fuck shit up. And it's hold on. Let me see what I got here. Let me see what I got here. Yeah. You know what's crazy? All the questions that I had, all of them got answered like all the way to the end from that first episode. Everything got answered,
Mhm.
right? But Raiders came in, fucked up the vault. Some of them did, some of them killed a lot of
A lot.
the vault dwellers, like a lot of them, a lot. And what was the lady's name?
Ooh, you would ask me that.
Uh,
I don't remember her
hold on.
name. Shoot.
Moldova.
Yeah, Madiva.
Yeah,
Moldova. Yeah.
yeah, yep.
She
So,
takes the daddy.
yep, takes the father, which
Her
honestly,
daddy's the overseer, by the way, you guys.
yeah,
I don't know if he
yeah.
said.
Each vault has an overseer, and it's a voted. It's he or she is voted in, right? So yeah, they come in, fuck shit up. Everybody's like, "What the fuck is going on? How the fuck did they get in here? What the fuck happened? How did these motherfuckers get in here like this? This doesn't make any sense at all." Right? So Lucy sees the damage that's happening. They got her father. Everybody's going fucking ape shit, and they're like, "What the
Mm-hmm.
fuck we're gonna do?" I'm kind of just going over shit. Lucy is like, "You know what? Fuck this shit.
She's
I'm
like, I'm
going.
out. I'm gonna
Yeah,
get my daddy.
I'm going up there, right?" And then you know what the crazy shit is? The tall motherfucker, her cousin,
Stop, because I've been getting like memes about that like all week. Oh my
her cousin, right? I love you, Lucy. We're cousins.
cousins.
We're cousins, right? So, and
You switched on real quick though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I also like her brother too. Like at
Mm-hmm.
first, I was like, "You kind of weird," but then him actually further into the series, it was actually really dope. So that's the vault. Vault gets fucked up. Then let's just say, Lucy tries to see what she can do on outside of the vault and goes out for the first time and is bright eyed and bushy tailed and naive as fuck. Right. So then we go to Maximus. And I was I didn't like the way that they brought in the Brotherhood because if I'm not mistaken, I like it. They can't do everything by the game. So they kind of had to bring them in a certain way. But first of all, I don't like that Maximus was always getting bitched. Don't like that shit. I also didn't like, I don't know, his added great actor because I
Mm-hmm.
really got mad at that motherfucker sometimes because his attitude was just atrocious.
Atrocious. Like
Yeah,
it was like, God damn, why you such a fucking jerk? Shit.
yeah,
Like what the
yeah.
fuck?
It was shit. So at honestly, the Brotherhood is a cult. Let's just call it what it is. It really is
Compared
because
to some of the other cults that we know of, it's
it is because if you really want to think about it, these motherfuckers get this happens later in the story. They get branded.
but that actually doesn't happen in the games, right?
No, it doesn't. I know. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I was like, okay, I'll see how Maximus goes and everything. But his main goal is that he wants to be within the what do they call it? The damn, what number was that?
T60.
Yeah, the
The
T60
T60
joint.
power armor. Yeah.
Yep. That's his goal. He wants to be that. So his friend, one of his closest friends, that's also in the Brotherhood with him, ends up getting picked to be a squire, right? And goes through the whole ceremony. They celebrate. That motherfucker get pissed off. He slams the toilet seat down, slam it hard as fuck. He mad as shit. And the next morning, this motherfucker's whole foot is gone, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what if that motherfucker, I'm sitting there and I was like, what if that motherfucker blacked out? Like, cut that motherfucker's foot off, right? So can I just say what happened? I mean, we're gonna go through it anyway.
You mean that they did it to themselves because they
Yeah,
didn't really want to go? Yeah,
which
you
is
can.
crazy.
Yeah,
What
crazy.
you have to be out of your fucking mind, or it has to be something wrong with you mentally. And the whole foot was gone. It like
It wasn't gone, but it was severely cut.
yeah,
But what's fucked up, even though they did that, they still ended up going anyway. So like the point of you even doing that was like for nothing.
yeah, yeah, yep. That's crazy, crazy. And this, like I said, this episode kind of just gives a overall just like glimpse of these characters within the series. One of the things that kind of was that might have been second episode. All right, so first episode is just a brief glimpse of everybody who's in the series, showing where they come from, showing how they became who they are and shit like that.
Their
'Cause
intro.
we didn't meet Cooper in the first episode when he was a ghoul yet, did we?
Not as a ghoul, but as a
No,
human, yes.
as a human, we did. Okay. Yeah, Lucy's on her way, walking and shit. It's crazy. And then Maximus ends up, because the friend couldn't do it, he ends up becoming a squire. But I also don't like the leader or the clergy or whatever the fuck that motherfucker is, who was part of the Brotherhood, that weird fucking Ramsey Bolton looking motherfucker. I don't know, he's just some old dude, just weird. So
He's like extreme with it because he's
yeah,
like,
that's what it makes
he
me think it's a cult, because the way that he upholds it and the way he presents it
right.
seems like a cult.
And so, like, right, because how Maxim even got to that point is that everybody thought he did it to
Yeah.
his friend,
Yep.
and he didn't, but he had to convince him that he didn't, or whatever. And so, like, he basically was like, "I'm all in. Y'all got my life. If y'all just
Yep.
want to do whatever, I'm down for the Brotherhood for life.
Yep.
To death do his part." That's how he was about it. And so he was like, okay. And then that's what convinced him. And then you'll see him again on some wild shit. And it's just like, oh, you really trying to do some real fucked up shit right here. But anyways, proceeding on.
Yeah. And I would say we go into second episode. Second episode. I forgot where we start, but I do know that
You start with the
Lucy.
scientist.
Yeah. Right. We get into the scientist. The scientist basically goes against the rules, ends up training the dog. The dog is in love with this dude.
And it's not dog meat, even though they do call the dog meat later on. It is CX404. That is the dog's name.
Lexi shit, y'all. Look, if I post shit, get clips out of this shit, and y'all give me some bullshit, hey, y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop playing. If it ain't commenting on the shit, y'all better stop.
Just say it.
So he ends up raising this dog, and this dog is like, just close to him.
He's also part of the Enclave.
Yep. He ends up getting caught. The dog ends up fucking murdering this dude. And this motherfucker looks at the dog and says, "We gotta get the fuck up out of here." And them niggas are gone. So,
Deuces.
yep, they're on the run. And does Lucy meet him first?
You know what? I think she does, because they all meet up in town, like the exact same town.
Yep. And I think around this time,
no, it's Lucy goes to town looking for supply because she finds the Vault-Tec shop, like the lady has all the Vault-Tec gear, and then she's like, "Oh," I forgot what she asked, and it was really weird. And the lady was like, and then we meet Ghoul, and then
we don't. We don't meet Ghoul. Maximus goes through the process. The person that he's squiring for, that motherfucker ends up like running away. He's scared as shit. And
bitch action, like he just ran.
Yeah, yep. And homie Maximus is like, he looks at Maximus and tells Maximus, "This is all your fault. You know that, right?"
Like, why would you say that?
Yeah,
when
you know
you're
this
about
is
to
all
like
when
you're
you're
dying.
about to die. Right. I ain't gonna help you do shit. I don't have to help you do a goddamn
And then you
thing.
begging for a stim pack on top of it?
Right. You can eat a dick. So basically, Maximus ends up taking the armor, using the armor, doesn't know how to use it well. But, he learns pretty quickly. And this is when we meet Cooper, because Cooper is trying to get the bounty for the guy, right?
They all have bounties of some sort. So
yeah, right. And Lucy is in this store. The lady is like, she's like, "I'm trying to find my father." And this lady, she knows the lady's name, Madalva. What is her name again? Yeah. And the lady looks at her and is like, "Do you know who she is?" "Yeah, everybody knows who the fuck she is. And if you go looking for her, you're going to fucking die yourself." So a whole bunch of shit happens. Basically, the woman is hired to help save the doctor and get him to a certain location.
Roll it back.
Hit it.
Actually, before she went to town, remember there was that big rad roach that was like about to attack her in the woods?
and the
And that's
dog.
how she met him. Yes, that's how
Yeah,
she met the doctor. She met,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
dog
she
and the
lit a
doctor.
fire.
And he
She
was
lit
like,
a
"What are
fire,
you
and the doctor
doing?"
was like, "You're crazy. You should know never to light a fire at
Yeah.
night like this
And he
because
basically
you."
tells her to go back home. It's like,
Yeah,
"Go
yup.
back home."
You need to go back home. Like you need to get the fuck out of here. You naive. You know what the crazy thing is? I'm gonna go a couple episodes. Remember when she like started to like get the ropes of the area and she got captured for like they were gonna like take her body apart and get her
Mhm.
organs and stuff.
Yeah, harvest her
Remember,
organs.
yeah, remember what she was wearing when she came out of the hospital? Like literally like she looked like a Fallout character.
Yeah.
White like tank
White
on.
white beater,
Yup.
leather armor, yeah.
Yup. Why the
Blood at the
fuck?
bottom, like,
Why the fuck? Later on, the next episode, her ass is back in the damn.
damn suit, but it's still
Yeah,
bloody as fuck. It wasn't clean, it was still dirty, so, like, I don't know why they didn't keep her looking like that for the whole entire, like, show. They should have after that point, but
yeah.
hey.
I was like, what the fuck are they doing? But yes, so everybody is in this town. Maximus has to go get something fixed. He takes it to this woman, the repaired person, and he's like, "Hey, can you fix this for me really quick?" And she was like, "It'd be 5 caps." And he was like, "I only got 4. Can you do it for 4?" No. And then he looks around and sees a "we pay for teeth" sign,
See?
goes over there, gets his teeth pulled out. He was like, here's extra if you do it quick. And she went,
She goes, "Zip."
"That's it."
There you go. Bye.
And then Maximus comes back to the armor, and there are people picking from the armor pieces of it. He gets his ass kicked, gets his ass kicked more, picks up a pole, still gets his ass kicked, gets his arm into the armor and literally smushes this motherfucker's head with the hand.
Like,
Crazy,
yeah.
crazy, crazy, crazy. And also at this time, no, that was before. That was after. No, that was after. Yeah, yeah. So because I stepped ahead after the fight. He actually comes up in armor, helps Lucy, and then is fighting Cooper. And then Cooper is a pretty smart guy. And
He's a damn bounty hunter. What do you expect?
yeah, true. Ends up not taking out Maximus, but Maximus doesn't understand the weight of it. Motherfucker gets stuck in a goddamn path. And then Cooper ends up killing the fucking dog.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah, he brings it back with him because he knew that motherfucker was gonna go find find the doctor and shit.
Mhm.
But yeah, Maximus, they fight all that shit. Lucy gets away with the doctor, the lady who's in charge of the store, basically helps her get away and all that shit, right? Oh, and he gets his foot repaired because
You call it
so
that.
yeah, right. And I'm kind of to the point where I'm just like, all right, let's just hit highlight shit.
Alright, we
Within
get the highlights because
yeah,
it's already, like, 57 minutes, so,
yep.
like,
So fourth episode, that was second episode. They get away, and he's like, doctor's like, "Hey, look, you're gonna have to. I'm not gonna be able to make it. You need to like cut off my head here. Take this, cut this off, and take this
is
head.
it plan D?
Yup, you can save the world. You have that opportunity." So she ends up doing that. She has the head, and Cooper uses the dog to find that, right? And Maximus, it has to deal with the Brotherhood because they call to see what's going on and send out a new squire. And his new squire is the motherfucker they used to pickle on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, one of them. So, fourth episode, which I thought was really good. So, fourth episode was actually interesting. This is what I have note wise. Okay, you gotta laugh at this. Bert's small feet. So, the blonde lady who was pregnant in the vault, she was like, "These were Bert's shoes." Right? And she's talking to the cousin
This scene
of
is so
Lucy.
disturbing, you guys.
Yeah, right. Small feet. I said she wanted some dick, and
She did. She just
oh yeah,
she literally went to okay. So like the cousin of Lucy that like I'm in love with you. She
yeah,
goes to his like place, like his little area or whatever, and she's like, breaking some important stuff, because I thought,
Put the
you
cardigan
could
on
use it. Yeah, she puts the cardigan on him.
it. Put the
And she
cardigan
just
on it.
like starts like attacking him. But as soon as
Yeah.
she starts to attack him, her water breaks.
She said he said the dumbest shit when that happened. Did he say he said you're wet? You're like, what that motherfucker said to her was crazy. Was crazy. Right? It just makes me know what goes down in those vaults. But what else I got on here? We find out that ghouls need to have ghouls that aren't already changed to full like ghouls need
Well,
vials.
feral ghouls, yeah.
Yup. In order to survive, we get our first Snip Snip makes his appearance in episode
Mhm.
4. What else? Oh, this is when did we skip 3?
Yeah, but I mean 3 and 2 are kind of like
Yeah.
together in a way. So it's not really that you missed anything in episode 3.
Field of wheat behind rubble. This is when Lucy's brother actually end up digging more into vault
Mm-hmm.
32 or 33. No, 31.
30, 31. 31 and
31.
32.
Yeah, and honestly, this reminds me of the game because I'm pretty sure this was a part in the game. Like this was actually a storyline, like one of the missions in the game where you actually find out that all of these vaults have their own like crazy weird.
I mean, that's like every game. Every last one of the vaults have a different like
Yeah,
Vault-Tec experiment, which is talked about in episode 8. But yeah, yeah.
yeah, because
Crazy.
she one of the big things I wanted to bring up from that episode was the ones that like had like the fish and they had like the mutant people, the Cyclops dude and
Mhm.
everything, which that was a really funny vault. She said, if we came to your home, we would probably say the same thing. And this is the woman at another vault telling Lucy,
That's in
you're
episode
one
5.
judge. Right. What was your vault's secret? And Lucy's just sitting there like,
Mhm.
what are you talking about? What secret? Right. But her brother ends up finding a whole bunch of human remains in a part of the vault that nobody has been in 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. We end up seeing what else I got here. Yeah, biosignal 2 years ago. It looks like the dwellers killed themselves. Lots of bodies in the vault. Oh, this is also when Lucy goes getting her organs taken. She ends up freeing and escaping, and she frees the ghouls. And the guys that were high as fuck, I guess, were just like, "Oh yeah, don't free them because they're gone. They're done. Like you
But
let them
Lucy
out,
being Lucy, she's like, "No, let
yeah,
them out too."
free all of them." Those motherfuckers came out in a rush. Rush. I hate when I play Fallout. I
Those
I
ghouls,
do a
they'd
lot
be
of
like,
sneaking. Yeah, I
yeah.
do a lot of sneak shit. Right. So my shit, like, I always have an arrow, always have a bow and arrow, always. And when you sneak, your sneak attack goes up higher when you sneak and you hit those headshots. Remember that, y'all. But she ends up releasing all the ghouls. Some of the ghouls are like, fuck it, I'm killing everybody that I see. And then there's one ghoul that was actually still talking, but was literally on the line of just saying and just being gone. Right? Everybody died. Right? And this is when Cooper brought Lucy to this hospital, to this place to get to for exchange for vials that he needs in order to survive. Lucy, being kind-hearted as she is, she makes it out. But and she gets her finger replaced. That's right, chopped off his finger. What?
No, that she got her finger cut.
Yeah. She ends up helping Cooper because Cooper passed out and hands him more vials. We come back and Cooper's in there and he's just fucking. It looks like he's just drinking alcohol. He's just dousing himself in these vials, and he's just like, "Holy shit!" Take some. Oh, what else I got here? Oh, when the brother ends up
Mhm.
doing research to see how the raiders got in, they find out that the way that they get in, the uncle, yeah, the cousin mentioned they need a pit boy to get in here. And he was like, they did. Who was it? It was my mother. So they find that out, and this is also when Cooper ends up watching the VHS of himself back in the day.
Yep. And the whole Vault-Tec
Yep.
Vault Boy gear. Yep.
Yep. And all that shit. 5, Maximus, this is all just notes that I have. Maximus tells his squire who he is because he thought he can trust him.
Name is
Squire says,
Thaddeus.
yeah, Thaddeus. Thaddeus says, fuck you. And then,
And like locks him in the suit so he can't get out. So
right.
like poor
And
Thaddeus.
Maximus is just like, fuck, I'm going to die here. I'm going to die. So Thaddeus ends up running away, carrying that big ass stupid bag. And Lucy ends up coming around and saving Maximus, and they make a truce and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you remember he also saved her too because she was going through radiation poison. So
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, 'cause she drank the water. She drank some water, and this is when Lucy actually started to find out what the radiation, like her Pit Boy was going off
and it's like
when. Oh man, we missed a big part
what bit part?
when he used Lucy for bait.
Well, I mean that
Oh
part.
yeah,
I mean, it's not that important. Like they're all
yeah,
chasing this head.
yeah.
That's their all. They all have that goal. They need the head of the scientist. And so like he does like Ghoul does use Lucy as bait to get the head back
Right.
or whatever.
This is before we got to the ending. Maximus started off with a lie to Lucy, didn't give his real name.
You know, he said his name was Titus, Night
Yeah,
Titus.
yep. Also, the vault that Lucy came from is going through a whole vote for a new overseer. And one thing that was interesting to me was that Betty was overseer before.
In Vault 31, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm bringing something up at the end about Betty that like nobody really has mentioned. But anyways, keep going.
I think I know what you're going to say, but I think so. So that was interesting to me because Betty, and when homie was looking at the votes, it was always 31 to 33 for every overseer the past, always 31 to 33, always. My thing that I was thinking about that was that honestly, Betty is probably the oldest person there in that vault. And Betty knows what the fuck going on. And wait, hold on.
Okay, I'm gonna say it so we can like get to the point.
Wait, no. Wait. Nah, that'd be stupid.
No, so
If
she's not the oldest.
would it be stupid for that might sound really stupid. Would it be stupid for me to think that no, that's not her?
That is her.
That's the wife?
No, that's not the wife. That's the wife's assistant. So you remember
Oh,
at
yes.
okay, yes. So nobody really like noticed that. That's the wife's assistant. That's why him and her, like she was younger, but like, yeah. So and you know when they okay, so we're reading ahead, but like
Yeah,
anyways. So like when they so anyways, all right. Let's just get it all the way down so we can go ahead and do it. So like
yeah,
so when Vault 31 is basically the vault for Vault-Tec employees, pretty
yeah,
much. Like
yeah,
they're higher up. They're
yep,
buds buddies. We'll get to that in a minute. But like
yep,
she is one of those employees, and so was Hank, aka Lucy's dad.
yep,
So and then Cooper, his wife that we've been like talking about, she was also one of Vault-Tec's higher ups.
yep,
She's actually the one that got him doing like the videos and the promos for Vault-Tec
yep,
because the whole entire time, technically, it like the whole entire like series, you see him going back and forth about Vault-Tec. Like he knows something is up with them.
yep,
He's like, they're not good people. And he was like, he's basically trying to convince his wife. He's like, "Yo, you don't need to work there. We can buy a spot in our vault." She was like, "No."
right,
She's like, "We need to like be there or
yep,
whatever." And it doesn't make sense if you don't like. It clicks at the end, but when you see that scene, you're like, "So
yeah,
yeah." So, anyways, yes, Betty is the assistant to Cooper's wife because her name was
mhm,
Betty. He says it.
yeah, damn, yep. But Betty was they ended up like them when she was like when she won and they were like, hey, so we're going, I
I
want to
don't
be
even
open.
know if they really did like elections. I feel like they just like bring people like unfroze them and brought them back and transferred them to like Vault 33. Because if you look, even her dad was like 31 to 33, same as like the overseer of 32. She was from 31 to 33.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And they redid I think the brother's name is Leon.
no, it starts with an M.
M.
Let me go back and see what her name is. His
Yeah.
name. Oh no, it's Norman. Like
Norm.
Norman.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Norm or Norman. Yeah.
Norm. So Norm, when they were going and they saw all the dead bodies and stuff like that, Betty was like, "We want to be open and honest with you. We want to show you what's going on." So we redid this whole thing, and Norm is just going through it, and he's just remembering the bodies, the blood, all that shit. And then they turn around, make the woman that was pregnant the overseer. So basically,
Well, 32. Yeah, because they decided to open back up 32.
yep, yep. So I thought that was crazy. That was crazy to me. They end up going to the Maximus, and Lucy end up going to the vault. The new vault, the wife is the vault. Believer, husband is iffy about it.
How you
We
gonna
get
forget Shady Sands?
say it again.
Shady Sands.
Oh yeah.
That's like a big part of this plot. It's like what
Yeah.
happened there.
Yeah. It I wasn't it that, if I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong, wasn't it supposed to be that certain vaults open at certain times?
Yes, they do have certain times. Like for Vault
Yeah.
76, that's what the premise of the game is, reclamation days. That's what
Yeah.
it's when you go outside.
Right. And I do think Lucy was so surprised. She was like, "Wait, there's a new fucking California?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah." Where the fuck? Imagine if they're like, "Fuck you been?" Yeah, it's like that's a thing. And she was just so fucking surprised and just like flabbergasted because she was. Look, I feel sorry for Lucy. I love that she gained the knowledge as she was going. But even then, she was still. Remember when they were crossing the bridge and the fiends were there, and they were like, "You got any firearms?" He was like, "No, put your hands up." And he could put his hands up, and they're walking, and then she looking at the pit boy, and he just bop bop. And he
Right.
was like, "Why?" They were fiends.
Means.
Yeah.
Huh?
She was like, "Huh? What are fiends?" They eat people. That shit was crazy. Like they eat people. He just got up and just walked the fuck away. So anyway, I don't think if I think the biggest thing is Lucy. I know we're gonna skip a whole bunch, but whatever. Lucy ends up going to shit. Maybe I should put like a spoiler alert in front of this.
This is a whole damn thing we talked about as a sport. Look, if you
Yeah, true.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, if you ain't watched it, you just you know it now. Now you need to go
Yeah.
back and watch it. Because there are some
Oh,
things that we haven't talked about, and it
yeah.
probably won't make sense until you watch it and see it.
Yeah. But at the end, Madalver Maldal,
Madalva.
yeah, she ends up explaining what happens to Lucy's mother and with her father trapped in the cage. And her father is just a piece of shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Piece of
So like
shit. A big piece of shit.
all right. I
Huge
think
piece of
we
shit.
should just go ahead and start wrapping it up, and I'm gonna do the wrap up because
Yeah,
it
go ahead.
it all ties to like together. So like, all right. So we we get the head, Lucy has it, and she takes it to Moldiva, and Moldiva's like, "Oh, do you know who your father really is?" She just looks at her, she's like, "Huh?" And she's like and she just starts telling her the story.
Yep.
And kinda at the same time that she's telling her the story, Cooper's also going through his own, like, backstory. And so we find out, like, kinda at the same time that Vault-Tec was the one that dropped the bombs first.
Yep.
If you play the games and, like, know about it, you know that we thought China did it, but it wasn't, it was Vault-Tec.
Yep.
Vault-Tec was in the business, they found out that, hey, war is makes more money than, anything else.
Yep.
So, they were doing that, and they were also in the boardroom, like, talking about the experiments that we can do in each one of these vaults. Hence
And Cooper
why
was listening to this the whole time.
yeah, yeah. We're not gonna go into how he got it. It's not really
Yeah.
that important, but he was there listening. And that's
Yep.
also how we found out about the assistant Betty, because when she comes to the door, she's like, "Oh, hey, Betty," and like, yeah,
Yep.
whatever. also, I didn't notice it till the day I was watching a YouTube video. You
Mm.
know, Mr. House was there for Robco. And also there's another company, I forgot the name of it, but there's another character from the games that was in the boardroom for Vault-Tec.
Oh,
So yeah,
that's
so
why
now
they did close-ups on their names. I realized that. Yeah, they
so
did. I
yeah,
was like, "That
like
has to be something." Yeah.
yeah, so Mr. House was in that room. Hence
Yep.
why when we're going to New Vegas next season, I want to see how that plays out because
Yep.
I love Mr. House. So even though he was evil as fuck. Anyway, so
And then also, Lucy told Cooper her full name,
yes, and
and
he was
that's what
like,
started to click in Cooper's head because he knew that last name before.
yeah,
Yeah.
like because
Yep.
because her dad, the overseer, was a big fan of Cooper's.
Yep. And that's when you actually get the reveal, like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's the father, and when he's younger and he's in charge
Right.
of all this shit.
Right. So,
Yeah.
like, all right. So, anyways, so she's telling Lucy the backstory of all that. And same, like I said, at the same time, Cooper's like going through his thought as well. And
Mhm.
so Cooper met Moldiva really trying to figure out what Voltec was about because he's just like been back and forth about it. And so she gives him like an ear planning device so he can bug like his wife's pit boy and listen in. And he does, and that's how he finds out that information. And so that's how he knows her from 200 plus years ago. But we never know how she like stayed
Yeah.
alive during the time.
Yeah.
They never said anything about it.
Nope.
So yes. And then at the same time, her brother, Lucy's brother Norm, is in Vault 31, and he meets Bud. If you guys don't
Yep.
know, Bud is like one of the higher executives at Vault-Tec, and he had this like idea about Bud's buddies, and you see a flashback of him talking to Cooper about it, and it just kind of clicks. And so once he meets Bud, Bud is like a robot brain, so basically a brain on a robot, well, not
Remember
a
the
robot
needle?
body, but like a little, huh?
Remember the needle? He
Yeah,
was like, "Hey, I need you to come." He was like, "Don't move." And that motherfucker turned into the fucking wall. That shit
right.
was funny. Go ahead. Sorry. Go
So
ahead.
anyways, so anyways, he does that or whatever, and like we found out like you see his dad's vault, like his well not his vault, but his like cryogenic chamber
Hmm.
had been like activated, and
Yep.
basically it gives the date, his whole entire name or whatever. And so he also finds out, like Lucy's also finding out that her dad is evil. And what I mean
Oh
evil
yeah.
is that her mom, Rose, that's her mom's name, figured out that like water was being siphoned, and she's like, well, there's got to be something causing the siphon. So she puts two and two together and figures out that there's like a whole nother community out there outside of the
Yep.
vaults. And she goes out and she takes the two kids and dips. She's like, I'm out. And she takes the two kids. And so Hank goes running after her, goes to Shady Sands, and this like, hey, you coming back with me or not? And she was like, nah. And he's like, okay, bet. So he drops another bomb on
Hmm.
Shady Sands, killing everybody there, which also plays into Maxim's story because his parents were in that same area. They were all living in Shady Sands, which is kind of funny because
Wait,
you think,
wait, wait,
what?
wait, wait.
Yes.
Were Max's parents the doctors?
I don't know if they were the doctors, but they were there. They all lived
Yeah.
in Shady. And so the only reason he survived is because he got into the fridge
Yep.
right as the bomb dropped.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny because Maxim and Lucy, anyways. So we figured that out. And then and it's also hinted in the like series because you hear Lucy say like when she was a kid, she would go outside and feel like the actual like warm rays, and she thought it was like she was outside, but she thinks this is her mom, but she literally was outside. She was out the vaults.
Yep.
And so that happens. And then, like I said, Cooper's finding out all this information at the same time. And then he meets Hank
Yeah.
at the same time.
And
Yeah.
Cooper's like, "What the fuck happened to my family? What the fuck
And
happened to my family?"
nobody knows.
Yeah. What the fuck happened to my family?
Right.
And he was like, "I knew I heard that name before. I heard that name before,
Mhm.
just couldn't put a face to it." And it was, oh man.
Yeah.
Look, there's it's so much shit to this. If you guys want us to get more details into this, we definitely can. There's a lot of details to this. but we don't want to hold you guys up.
Nope.
You streaming tonight?
Nope.
So we will talk to you guys again. Like I said, let us know if you guys want us to talk about this more. I can see if we can do something, I don't know, next week or something, just something quick, and we can just talk about just more into it, because there's a lot of shit in here that maybe a lot
We
of
could,
people have
like, bring
questions
up,
about.
like, the Fallout game references that are in there.
Yeah,
Apparently, there's 111. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So I know a lot of people might have a lot of questions. We're not like expert at the shit.
No.
Lexi knows more than me, but we enjoy Bethesda. So yeah. So thank you for listening. And